Sit.
God of War Ragnarok, the latest game to feature our favorite too angry to die Spartan Kratos, released to rave reviews in November of 2022. Critics and players alike praised Ragnarok's dense, character-driven narrative, Bear McCreary's masterful score, the incredible performances by basically every actor involved, and in some cases, even the gameplay. All of Ragnarok's virtues pale, however, when compared to its most important feature, one that very well may have tremendous consequences on the future of God of War as a series. Here's where I'll tell anyone who hasn't played God of War Ragnarok to be wary of spoilers. Are you wary? Alright. God of War Ragnarok lets you pet the dog, and I think it may play a role in future installments of the God of War franchise. That's right, Ragnarok is rife with good boys, big and small, enemy and ally. They yappy.
I have absolutely no idea what you're saying.
They snappy. But best of all, they nappy. And in line with Ragnarok's character-focused story, Kratos even has a mini-character arc in a quest involving two of the dogs in the game, his very own sled wolves, Speki and Svanna. The side quest begins with Speki and Svanna pulling Kratos through a Fimbulwinter-ravaged Midgard. The pups cringe and whine after seemingly catching the scent of some nearby coal raiders, similar to the raiders Kratos and his son Atreus rescued the two wolves from in the 3-year gap between the events of 2018's God of War and this game. After exploring the now frozen-over Lake of Nine to find and clear out all the coal raider dens and defeating their absolute unit of a chieftain, Kratos expects the pups to be put at ease, but finds that it wasn't the raiders they were scared of at all. It was him.
They're still scared.
Not of the raiders.
You see, Kratos comes to the realization that his cold demeanor towards the wolves has left them feeling fearful and unsafe, and he finally understands that maybe just feeding them and keeping them warm isn't enough. Maybe they need to be shown a little bit of love too. Hell yeah, petting the dog. Now Steve, you might ask with your mouth, what does this have to do with the future of the franchise? Well, butter up that butthole, honey lips. I'm about to tell you. As early as 2018, prior to the release of Data Boy, Santa Monica Studios creative director Cory Barlog stated that future installments of the God of War franchise could take place in either Egyptian or Maya mythology. Now, most people seem to be leaning pretty heavily towards the Egyptian side of things, but it's the Maya mythology I want to focus on, and particularly their legends of the underworld, known as Xibalba. Say it with me, Xibalba. Feels good, doesn't it? Now, Kratos' journey to the land of the dead in both the Greek and Norse mythos, Hades and Hell respectively, so it stands to reason that he'd end up in the Maya underworld of Xibalba at some point if Santa Monica decided to take him to the Americas. There are several different afterlife myths in the broader Mesoamerican mythology, but a prominent one states that in order to cross a certain river on the journey to the underworld, you have to be carried by none other than a dog. Some accounts even go so far as to specify that it has to be a white dog, as the yellow ones are too dirty and the black ones are too tired from carrying people across. Racist much? Now, while this is more primarily an Aztec myth and not necessarily a Maya one, at least not in any text that I was able to review, feel free to educate me in the comments, many Maya burial sites have revealed dogs buried along with the dead, showing that the Maya might have also believed that dogs helped, at least in some way, guide spirits to the afterlife. On top of that, if we look at the Popol Vuh, a sacred text of the Quiché Maya recorded by Dominican friar Francisco Jimenez in 1701, whose account is the earliest surviving record of the Popol Vuh because the Spanish burned just a lot of books after they conquered the Maya.
Broken history. Aye, not exactly an easy fix for that.
Anyway, the Popol Vuh gives a description of the Maya underworld of Xibalba as including not one but 3 different rivers one must navigate to gain entry. One made of scorpions, one made of blood, and one made of pus. Ugh. Could a dog help Kratos cross these dangerous and disgusting waters? They're man's best friend. What do you think, idiot? Friendship is magic. More importantly, Santa Monica is clearly willing to blend mythologies from nearby geographical regions like they did with Mimir in the Norse saga, by making him one and the same with the English spirit Puck, or Robin Goodfellow, who traveled to Midgard from his homeland. Pop geography quiz, which pair is closer, Scandinavia and the British Isles, or Mexico and Mexico? Now, this stuff about the Maya underworld is all fine and good, Steve. I hear the voice that represents you, the viewer, saying in my head. But why does Kratos learning to be nice to Speki and Svanna matter in relation to Xibalba? Well, allow me to insert some knowledge into your brain hole. The Popol Vuh details the creation of man by the many gods according to the Quiche Maya, and the gods' second attempt at making man, they had to try several times before possums and foxes found corn. Let's not get into that. The gods' second attempt to make man were a bunch of assholes. Want to know how I know? They beat dogs. They beat dogs, Jim. Assholes. The dogs' response is detailed in this passage from the Popol Vuh. Their dogs and their turkeys told them, "You caused us pain. You ate us, but now it is you whom we shall eat." And this is what their dogs said when they spoke in their turn. "Why is it that you can't seem to give us food? We just watch and you keep us down and you throw us around. You keep a stick ready when you eat, just so you can hit us. We don't talk, so we've received nothing from you. How could you not have known? You did know, and we were wasting away there, behind you. So this very day you will taste the teeth in our mouths. We shall eat you," their dogs told them, and their faces were crushed. The mouths and the faces of all of them were destroyed and crushed, and it used to be said that the monkeys in the forests today are a sign of this. They were left as a sign because wood alone was used for their flesh by the builder and the sculptor. So this is why monkeys look like people. They are a sign of a previous human work, human design, mere mannequins, mere wood carvings. Mayan mythology is pretty metal. So basically, Kratos' treatment of the wolves in the Norse saga could prove important if the dogs of Xibalba pass any sort of judgment on him, as the dogs of creation did upon early man, which may or may not be a thing in any of the Maya mythology I was able to find, but hey, it doesn't seem like that much of a leap to make, and as we've already seen, Santa Monica doesn't seem to mind tweaking the myths they use for their narrative purposes. Hell, even if they decided to go the Egyptian route, Anubis, the god that weighs the hearts of men upon death to judge them, is a jackal. He'd probably take it personally if Kratos wasn't nice to dogs. Jackals are the dogs of the pyramids. It makes sense if you don't think about it. Now, while the Quiche creation myth forms a cautionary tale about treating animals with kindness, later on in the Popol Vuh, a couple of characters known as the Hero Twins trick two of the gods of the underworld, Jun Kame and Wukub Kame, which literally means one death and seven death, by killing a dog, then bringing it back to life. And when Jun Kame and Wukub Kame asked the Hero Twins to do it to them, the Hero Twins killed them and leave them dead. But the dog they resurrected is super happy and wags his tail and everything. So if you kill a dog, it's fine as long as you bring him back to life, but if you beat a dog, then he'll team up with turkeys to crush your face and chase you into the forest where you'll become a monkey. I don't know. I mean, let's not pretend like basically every religious text isn't full of contradictions if you look hard enough. But that's not the only Mesoamerican myth about dogs that Santa Monica could use. I mean, there's the myth about how a dog brought fire to the people by stealing it from another tribe and then swimming it across a river by holding a candle in his mouth. Hopefully, Kratos would treat that dog better than he did another firebringer.
You have freed Prometheus from the torment of the gods.
Or the myth about how God makes a jaguar, then makes men and guns for the men, then makes a dog, and the jaguar is like, "I'm gonna eat that dog," and God's all like, "No, you're not. That's what the men and the guns are for." And the jaguar's like, "I'm not afraid of those guns. They probably ain't even loaded." And the jaguar tries to eat the dog, and one of the guys shoots him, and the jaguar's like, "Ow, you shot me. What the hell, dude? Not cool." And God's like, "Did you learn your lesson? You learn your lesson? Don't eat dogs. Go live in the bush." Mythology. So that's an idea I had about where the God of War franchise might go in the future. I absolutely adore God of War Ragnarok. Go play it if you haven't. I myself have spent probably close to 100 hours playing through Ragnarok multiple times. First on Give Me Balance, then on Give Me No Mercy, and finally, for the ultimate challenge, on Give Me a Story. You know, so I could get the authentic game journalist experience. And so I could get footage for this video. If you can't and you want to experience that story, go watch a long play. Thank you so much for watching this video. I hope you enjoyed it, and I will see you next time. Be nice to dogs.